Hey everybody, this is me and my never-ending quest to produce the ultimate YouTube video. 1 million views is the goal. I thought I'd document what it takes to get, well, to harvest, to press the test, the guard, the toggle, and the light mount. Do a couple of these just to, when you look at the flight engineer station, you can see the behind the scenes. I've been doing this 2 to 3 hours a day minimum for almost 2 weeks nonstop. So first thing we do is take the press the test head off, extract the light bulb, throw the light bulb in the bin, press the test. I got a big thing of water with soap in it over here, and on the floor I got a big basket with all the scrap. Then we test the switch to make sure it works. That's a good one. These typically come out of here with not a lot of effort. Some of them are just gone. So there's a panel nut guard. Some of them are gone and just I can't get the head off to press the test and it breaks it. That sucks, but it is what it is. Can't save them all. I've experimented with other ways of separating these components with a cut-off disc, but it's just as fast to do it this way. Sever that. Then light, and then press the test. Now they're freed up. Now I got to extract the light plate. And I want to save that grommet right there because that holds it on there really well. So there's that. Trash. Now, so toggle. I've done enough of these where I know it's the amount of pressure I got or force I got to exert in order to get something that it's going to be more trouble than it's worth. But panel, and then you got the retainer, and I dropped, there it is, that thing. There's a perfectly good switch. I believe they're made by Kraus and Heinz. Don't see the nomenclature anywhere, but that's gold. And if that's gold, this press the test is platinum, diamond, unobtainium. Beautiful. And then the light mount. You got to shock it. A lot of gilding. I don't want to use chemicals because I don't want to get that crap on my hands. And these typically come right off, but any amount of force and it's not worth it because there's a panel, the ground, and the nut thingamajiggy. But I still have to make resin copies of the thing that screws onto these. I think I've actually got one. Yeah, I do. Got one handy. That screws onto there like that. Little bulb goes in there. And let's see, we got one of the lighting panels are transparent on the inside, and you got these little windows, those little red windows, and they go up into here like so, and there's a light bulb in there, and that's how these things are illuminated. These are, hey kitty, these are the old ones. But I'll have to make resin copies of that black part because I've just got the base scrap. And since I know you guys are watching this, I'm gonna just do a few more. And if you're wondering, yes, my fingers are tired. But my right arm is tired. Plus, on top of this, I've been going out and installing them on the panels outside, or in here. I'll bring them in. Yeah, I try to avoid being outside. Right now, it's just unbelievably hot. But questions about illuminating this stuff. Be quiet. Come here. Come here, you. Look at that. That's my cat. He says meow. Too much meows. In terms of illuminating this stuff, first of all, we got to ensure that the press to test lamps aren't all corroded up and they work. And then the wiring up of this stuff to a power source, yada, 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 transformer. That's all well and good. You know, think of, the wire, just the wire and the connectors. I can't think what they're called, the female male crap. That's another cost. But I'm just testing this to make sure this stuff fits out there. Once I make sure everything fits, eventually, one of the last things I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, I'm going to repaint everything. I'm going to use my laser etching and get all that stuff done, install the glazing so I don't get paint on it, don't get it dirty, don't get it damaged. But I had to go back and take all this stuff back out and reinstall it again and then wire it. And it, some things I do just for the YouTube content, I don't do it for the accuracy. I do it just to have something to put on YouTube, like this right here. So I have to consider going back and doing all this stuff, what kind of views I'm going to get, which translates to more money to build the B-36. Because all the money that comes from YouTube and my donations is what builds the B-36. Everything else is paid for by things that I've acquired over the decades and have been selling off. I'm a reseller. And fortunately, 20, 30 years ago, I had a really good eye. And serving me well. Oh, we're already taking that out. Bonus. I didn't even test that one. Dang. But in terms of the details, I've just got so much work to do. I've got so much work on the flight engineer station to do up under it. And then I'm going to have to jack the B-36 up at least 2 feet so I can access the bottom of the flight deck floor. And I'd really like to link the controls. And then think about that. I've got to build the entire throttle quadrant and mixture quadrant for the flight engineer station. Get that working. I got to build the throttle quadrant for the console, the pilot's console. Get that working. Then link them. And that one's not going to come out. Scrap. I think we can do one more. But this is great. Like I said a few times already, because I'm just completely overjoyed with my surplus of press to test lamps. I've got, I'll show you what I've done before I cut the video off, which is just today. Well, not today. 66% of it. 66.3. 0.3 is how much I've done today. I was doing this out on the front porch. because it's nice out there. I like to be outside. I love the fresh air and the birds and the... not like being stuck indoors. Do not like it one bit. But I do appreciate the air conditioning. That's for dang sure. I haven't really, over the past few videos or so, I haven't thanked everybody for your comments and your praise while I'm doing this busy work or driving or whatever. I think about that, think about what you people say, and it's great. And I never really mention it like the typical YouTuber does, but I guess I won't. That one, yeah, gotta get the big boy out because he's going to complain. You got to help me out by share, liking, and subscribing my stuff. Send it to all your friends or your enemies, anybody. The more people who see my stuff, the more likes, the more shares, the more views I get, the more money I get. The more money I get, the bigger the B-36 gets. If I haven't said this in a long time, but if it got to the point where I have 20,000 subscribers, yada, 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 and I'm making a decent income a day, $50 a day, $100 a day would be great. I would genuinely consider building the bombardier compartment and just keep going. I really would, but as much as I love the B-36 and I love to build as a fabricator and an artist and a historian and a teacher, I know I say this over and over again, but you got to draw the line somewhere. You gotta be somewhat sane about it all. And I try really hard to maintain my sanity by setting goals and drawing lines. Maybe. Yeah. But let's see. I don't think I can turn my camera around, but here's all of my screws. And this is the batch of Presta test lamps. There's the scrap. And this whole thing is filled. This whole thing is filled. And this is from, I think, yesterday, the day before yesterday. And then here's my surplus of beautiful Presta test lamps. But there you go. I need a haircut. I'll see y'all next time.